All right, this is in response to all this British crap that Pierce Morgan keeps throwing out about assault rifles, AR-15s, and things of that sort. Pierce, I've served my country in the Army for 17 and a half years. I served over in Iraq. I was taught to use a firearm since I was 6 years old. I've taught how to respect them, fear them, treat them responsibly, load them, clean them. Everything I was taught to do, I was taught to do with the utmost respect. And everyone keeps saying that the guy who did the Aurora shooting was a law abiding citizen. Yes, he was a law abiding citizen when he bought the weapon. But the instant you make the conscious choice to take that weapon and use it against people who have done nothing to you, who have committed no crime against you, guess what, Pierce? Maybe in Britain it's that way, but here that makes you a non law abiding citizen once you make that conscious choice, man. So you can spat all your banter, you can throw up all your liberalistic bullcrap that you want to spit out and hope that it'll stick to the wall. But guess what? That doesn't fly in my world. And I sit back and I hear all these people, Dianne Feinstein, you, Pierce Morgan, Bill Maher, all these extreme left wing people who are so terrified of guns that every human being on the planet who has never committed a crime shouldn't have a gun. Why is that, Pierce? Why should we not have a gun? It's our Second Amendment right. And you know what? There's nothing in the Second Amendment that says we're only allowed to have one gun or have a musket or a muzzle loader. There's nothing in there about hunting or fishing. It specifically says that we have the right to bear arms. That means that the people, we, me, you, everybody, it has the right to have a weapon. And that weapon was not intended to be used for hunting or fishing like Dianne Feinstein wants to spat out of her puke filled mouth. She's an idiot. And she wants, I saw a thing on YouTube of her trying to lecture Ted Cruz about lecturing her on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And what did she say? That I can't remember the specific words, but something to the effect that our ability to have the weapon was solely for hunting or fishing. And that was it. She said that it's Congress's duty to create law, not interpret it. But yet she is trying to interpret that law, that right that was given to us by our forefathers. She's interpreting that and twisting it around to fit her own personal agenda or some crusade that she's on to rid the world of guns. Well, if you take away all the guns, Miss Feinstein, all people are going to do is continue to murder each other with knives, bats, clubs, fists, feet. They're going to make shanks. I mean, none of the people in prison have guns except the guards. But guess what? They still find ways to sharpen a toothbrush or steal something from the workshop, and they shank people left and right. If someone wants to commit a crime, especially murder, there's nothing you or I could do to stop it by creating some stupid, ridiculous law that says you can only have 4 bullets or 7 or 10, or that you can only have something that shoots one time per pull. No law you create is going to do anything about that. And if you think it will, you are truly an imbecile and have no business serving this country in a political office because you are a complete buffoon. And personally, I think all of you should be fired because you're idiots. You have no idea what you're doing. You're creating laws left and right and throwing them against the wall, seeing which one's going to stick. And you know what? Maybe 20 years ago, that crap worked because people just didn't care because they had money, they had jobs, they had the ability to just ignore the problem. But guess what? They don't have that same luxury today. People are unemployed. People don't have the money to do all these things they used to do. So they have no other choice but to sit around and listen to y'all's incoherent banter and ridiculous suggestions on how to fix a problem that you know you can't fix. That's like seeing the giant hole in the Titanic and then trying to convince everyone there that you can sew it up with some needle and thread if given enough time. It's impossible. So this whole gun debate is moot because it's not the gun that kills somebody. A gun, anything that throws a bullet, is a tool. It takes a human being behind it to pull the trigger and make the choice to end someone's life. I have been in combat. I have been shot at. I have been blown up. I've had grenades, RPGs, mortars, missiles, rockets, everything thrown at me. And guess what? None of them fired themselves. It took a person behind there pushing a button or squeezing a trigger and making the decision to try to kill me. And you know what? There are people that I killed over there, and I had to make the conscious choice to pull that trigger because it was them or me. So you can sit there and spat out all your crap that you want, talk about how no one needs an AR-15 or 100 rounds or any of that sort. All right? Did any of you bother to go onto the FBI's website and pull up the statistics? I'm betting not, because obviously if you did, you would see that those statistics prove that you're a freaking liar. Because I went and pulled them, and there has been a drastic decline in the amount of murders over the past, I think it was dated back since 1993. And there was a period of a few years where it went up and down, up and down, up and down. But overall, the trend has gone down. And why? Because people have learned to use their guns responsibly. People know that it is a tool meant to kill. It's not something you use to bang a nail into a board. It's not something you use to punch out a beer can. It is meant for one thing and one thing only, to kill. And people know that. So you can continue spitting out all your crap. I don't buy it. Nobody else I know buys it. And personally, all the crap that you spew out of your disgusting mouth, Piers Morgan, I don't know why you even bothered to come to this country. If you have so little regard for what we believe and hold true and dear to our hearts, why are you here, you jackass? Go back to Britain. If it's so great there because no one has guns, take your British ass back there. No one's making you stay here. You're staying because why? You're gonna get rich. The crap you spat on TV, ridiculing people for their beliefs and what we hold true and what the Constitution gives us and the Bill of Rights. You sit there and yammer all day about how you don't think it's right. Well, guess what? You don't make law either. And you're entitled to your ideas and your beliefs. You're entitled to think what you want. But the simple fact remains that we, the American people, want guns. Why? To defend ourselves against someone breaking into our home or trying to steal our stuff or breaking in to kill our family. But the original reason that was put into the Bill of Rights and the Constitution was to allow the people to protect themselves from a tyrannical government. That's why it was put there. Because, and Pierce, you should know this, being from England, the whole reason why people left England to come to here was to escape oppression, religious persecution. So they came here to escape that, and then the Revolutionary War came up. But prior to that, they weren't allowed to have guns there. They had to come here to get that. So they rose up and took what they wanted for themselves, which was freedom. So you above all people, Pierce, should know that, and you're just ignoring one simple fact because it's inconvenient for you that guns save lives. People kill people. And if you remember that one simple fact, it'll be a lot easier for you here. And I would much appreciate you stop running your mouth about crap you don't know about and get your fact checkers changed, because they too are idiots. So have a good day. And like I said, Pierce, if you don't like it here, take your sorry ass back to England where life sucks. Bye bye.